Hello and welcome back to D-Ragu Games. So now that the game jam is in its final days, I thought that it would be a good time to complete my devlog. So at this point, I got the basic game elements to work, and now it was time to put together a level. But after my last video, I was unable to do much work on the game. But why, you may ask? Well, it's because of real life. You know what it's like as an indie game dev. Things at my job got really hectic, so I had to put things on hold for a few days. If you have watched my previous videos on this game jam, you would know that I really wanted to use the Bullet Fury asset. And while I did not want this to be a how I failed to make a Bullet Fury game, I had to know when to quit. Wait, you don't need to click off yet. I promise that this situation ends well. With only 4 days to go, I began to search on YouTube to find a solution, and I found this guy. I really love his no-nonsense, no time to waste approach to his tutorials. He uses object pooling to manage the bullets on the screen, and while the Bullet Fury system was working, it must have been something in the way I was using it that made the game performance on WebGL suffer. And since using Bullet Fury was optional, well, you know how it goes. I spent most of day 6 making the various in-game screens, working out the game over, and of course playtesting. Day 7 was mostly more level design, game feel, working on the boss level, putting together the itch page, and of course playtesting. I spent a lot of time trying to balance the game's difficulty between fun and challenge, but I still felt the game was missing something. The theme was confined, and I still did not know how to get this point across. Also, balancing the game's difficulty was challenging. If I gave the player too much health, the game would be completed too easily. If I gave the player too little health, the theme would become rage quit. Day 8 was more of the same, plus adding in the sound. But every time I tried to import a sound or music file into Unity, I would get this error. And this is where I really thought I would not be able to complete this game on time. Luckily, this error was not very uncommon, and it turned out that my antivirus software was blocking Unity from importing the files. So after adding a few exceptions to my antivirus, I was back in business. With only 1 day to go, I decided that I would make a build and upload it for playtesting. But I still felt that something was missing, and that the balancing was off. I tried to make a checkpoint at the boss stage, but that kept bugging out, so I had to cut it. And then at the very last minute, it hit me. There's no incentive for the player to destroy the guns in the game. It just made going through the first part of the game seem unnecessary. So I decided to add a bonus life system to the game. If the player would destroy all the guns in a specific area, then a confined version of himself would be released, and an extra life would be given to the player if he collides with it. I implemented this to all the areas, and that was it. I was ready to make my final build. I did some more playtesting, and I was ready to submit my game. I added the final touches to the game's itch page, like completing the description and adding screenshots, and then it was time to submit. In the end, I'm really happy with the way this game turned out. And so far, I'm really grateful for all the feedback that I'm getting from those of you that are playing my game. I must admit, I've not been able to play many of your games till now, mostly because I've just been so busy with work. But I am making time this weekend to sit down and really enjoy your games, because I know just how much of ourselves we indie game devs put into making our games. And I'm really very excited to see what you all came up with. I'm working on a playthrough video of my game, but to be completely honest, I've not been able to beat my game as yet. But I'm sure I will. Or will I? Now would be a great time to subscribe to D-Ragu Games. Join me on my journey to make my first bullet hell game. And turn on notifications so you will know when I post another video. This has been D-Ragu Games.